Okay, so what this video is going to be on is I'm going to be using the Tornador Classic versus the Tornador Black. I've made videos about this before. I've compared these two, and my opinion has been that the Classic, just in so many cases that I've tested it in, has performed better than the Black has. And that the Classic actually uses less air, that you can actually run a smaller air compressor technically than the Black, which is exactly the opposite of how they advertise it. They say this takes less air. It definitely takes more. So, as you can see, I've got this mat here. Definitely got some stains on it. And actually all I have in here is ONR diluted at, it's not at the, rinseless wash, the 256 to 1. It is heavier than that. I believe that I put 1.5 ounces in this and then fill it up to the top. So whatever that'd be, that's 1,000 mils, I guess. So y'all can do the math. But this is just ONR, no other cleaners. And I actually just did the other mat that was pretty similar to this. It had stains on it and whatnot. And so, I was just playing, and I was really surprised that these were taken out, that the ONR was actually removing stains. So we'll see if it does it on this one. But what I want to do is, do a section with staining on it with the Classic, and then also do a section with the Black, and let you look at it, after doing that. And then I want to go in and I want to dry the section the Black did with the Black. I want to, dry it with the Black, and then dry the side with the Classic, and let you see it there. And then what I want to do is take the Classic, because this is what's going to happen. I want to take the Classic over here to the Black side after the Black has dried it, and I want to see if it removes, still removes more that the Black didn't get out, because that's what I've experienced before. So what I'll do is do this right here. I'll do this little section that's got some staining in it. And these could be different stains. I mean, it actually really surprised me how well it removed the ONR, and these, these tools removed this, because, I don't know, I haven't tried it, but I would suspect that if you just took ONR at the same dilution, and they say it does have light clean ability, if you took that in a spray bottle and were to spray it and then take a scrub brush and then take a microfiber towel and wipe it up, I think it would do something, but I don't know if it would do as much as the Classic just did, and maybe even the Black did, because I will say this, on that other mat, this is the first time that the Black has actually come close to even matching the Classic. It didn't outperform it. I think it was a little, less than the Classic, certainly on the drying, and you'll see that. But it's the first time the Black's even come close to being at the same as the Classic in results. I don't know, I didn't count, but I think I even did more passes with the Black. But and I want to make it clear, because the videos I put out, I'm sure there's guys that are, all about the Black, and that's probably all they've ever had that own the Classic, that probably think that I'm just, against the Tornador Black, and that's not the case at all. I mean, I got the Tornador Black because if the advertisements were true, what they said, if it performed better than the Classic, then I absolutely wanted it and thought it would absolutely be worth the price. And so, but it let me down. And so the main thing I want to let y'all know is not just with these, with everything that I do a review on, I'm always going to tell you exactly what I think and how I feel. And it doesn't matter. I've never had a sponsored video, but even if companies did start sending me stuff, I would still tell you exactly what I think. If that company would have sent me both these, I'd tell you, you'd get the same opinion. And one thing I want you to see is that, hopefully you can see it, that in this cone, that's one thing that I've always said is the Tornador Classic, it pulls stuff out. I mean, you can actually see it doing it, and a lot of times when I'm using this on floor mats, if they're really bad, it'll even pull stuff out and I'll get it all over my shirt, where the black never does that. So that's just, you know, an extra thing that this does. Hook it up. That also in the drying process does make a difference. All right, so we'll do the classic side. And I don't know if y'all be able to see it in the video, but like right now there's a drip hanging there. And so as I'm drying with this, you can actually see water dripping out of this because it's pulling it out and into that cone. And right now, it's, you know, could be fairly clean. But when you're first going, you know, to do something dirty, you'll notice that, you know, the water, yeah, even right then, the water is still black. And so you can't see it, but I've always got a bucket of water, just plain water, next to me, because you're supposed to, every so often, you know, stick it in there and pull the trigger. I'll even do it with this one to be fair. And if you see water dripping out of this cone, it's because of where I just dunked it in there and it's still coming out. So actually what I'll do, and I don't know how well y'all can see the results, but like I said, the Tornador Black, this is the first time, and I've done a lot of testing with it, that it surprised me on, you know, carpet floor mats with stains, that it is actually, you know, a very similar result as far as the wet process and it cleaning the mat. Now the drying process, we're gonna see, I'm gonna take the black over the side where I did the classic. So it didn't really look like it, you know, brought anything more out. That's classic miss. Now we'll do the same with the classic on the black side. So I don't know if it was showing up, but the classic was, you know, down here where the water gravitated to, was pulling out, you know, more, kept pulling more out that the black didn't get out. And the black didn't really do that on the side that I dried it with the classic first. So that's one thing that I've noticed that the classic just always will do better on because of its, see, here's the thing, in my opinion, guys, this is the original Tornador, right? And so this design, this, you know, little tube in here that's got specific little weights on it, you know, specific little places, and it's this cone, and the way that it acts, and it's, you can even hear it in the video, it sounds different, and it feels different, and it even feels, you know, holding it the same distance from your hand as the black, even though the black sounds much meaner. I do like the way it sounds, but this, you can actually feel it hitting, you know, the air hitting your hand more, and you can feel then that it's got a different effect. It's got a different pattern, and I think this is, you know, the original deal. Like, this is what the technology was, and, you know, I understand going to the black, the way, you know, the way they did it as far as, you know, the inner, you know, tube part never touches the outside of the cone, so it never wears the cone out. But it's a completely different design. They act completely different. And if you've never had the classic, if you've never had them side by side and felt that, and, you know, done these tests, you're not going to know what I mean. But I promise you, if you have both of them and test them side by side, it really is a big difference that you can feel with your hand as far as what it does. And I think this is, you know, that tornado effect, and that it's pulling stuff out even though you're shooting compressed air, it's still pulling stuff out somehow because of this motion, whereas the black one can't do that. So, you know, that's why I think the Classic just performs better, because that was the original technology, the original idea, you know, why they named it the Tornador, I'm sure, and why it works so well. And then, you know, but it makes sense that they went to the black and did it that way, you know, to try to make it where, hey, can we get the same result or better, and yet it not have wear and tear on that cone. And so that'd be something you don't have to replace. But like I've said in other videos, guys, this isn't the stock cone. The stock cone that comes with it is white, but on the inside it's white plastic as well, so it's just plastic. This has a stainless steel lining in here, and I think this thing's like 25 bucks off Amazon. And I promise, because even buying the Tornador Classic, it's cheaper, buying the Tornador Classic and then also buying this upgrade is still less than just buying the Tornador Black. And I promise you, not only does it not wear the inside of that cone out, so you're not going to have to replace it, or certainly not near as often, but it also doesn't wear down, because it's so smooth, stays smooth, it doesn't wear out these weights on the tube, because that's something else, you'd have to replace it. Because I did use the original cone for a little while, and it started making grooves, and it started getting rough, and it was wearing the weighted tube out as well. So like I said, I think, you know, in the videos before, everybody that's, you know, said that I was doing something wrong with the black and that the black is just flat out better, I don't think they've owned the Classic or especially compared them side by side, and, you know, truly wasn't biased and wanted to see which one does perform better, because that's what I truly did. Like I said, I think what the vast majority of people have done is, since the black has come out, it's been out for a while, that, you know, since the advertisement is that it's better in a lot of ways, it's an upgrade from the Classic, then it makes sense, you know, why you'd want to get the best one, right? Makes sense. And I almost made that mistake, but I'm really glad that I did it this way and got the Classic and the Tornador Black at the same time, compared them side by side, and was able to see that in a lot of situations, the majority of situations I've tried them both in, that the Classic is better. One other thing, a big thing actually, in some situations, is that the black, when you're using the liquid, the black puts out quite a bit more, like double or more the amount of liquid, whatever you have in there, than the Classic does. And that's kind of one of the big advantages that I like about the Classic. And the idea of this is that even though it looks like a lot, you know, it's heavy mist, but it's actually not a lot. You're not getting something super damp, but you're actually getting, you know, the agitation. You are getting that liquid to mix it up, you know, break it down. So that's one reason that, you know, just one, that the Classic works good, and whereas the black, it saturates whatever you're working on so fast, and, you know, you're only able to do half the amount of passes or less, and then the stuff's dripping, soaking wet. And like with headliners, that's why I don't like the black at all for headliners, because you don't want to oversaturate a headliner, and the Classic works great for that. So I just wanted to make a video. You know, I had someone leave a comment a couple videos back, and I apologize if you see this, that I haven't had a chance to make another video or videos on these Tornadors, because I know you wanted to see it. So hopefully you get to see this, and hopefully, you know, you like it. If you want to see something else about them, please let me know. And like I said, as soon as I can make it happen, I will make it happen. So if there's something that you want to see, any of y'all want to see, and that goes for any video or anything, you know, leave it down in the comments if y'all want to see something, and I do not mind doing it. So other than that, guys, until the next one, y'all either be good or be good at it.